outside. I had volunteer kids reading with me, and then a kid, this little girl, came running up near the end. She hadn't been there at the beginning. She ran up near the end, and she was maybe 3. Just so cute, 3 years old, and so self-possessed, came running up. And I would read the book, and then the kids would repeat it. So she had figured that out, right? She knew that's how it worked. She came running up to me, and I read something, and then I put the mic to her, little 3-year-old with a little lisp. Thunder Boy Jr. And then she ran away again. I thought, oh, that was so awesome. And then she did it again. And then she did it again. And the thing was, if it was a 42-year-old white guy, that would be creepy.
Okay. Never happened to Chekhov.
Yes. but that, I mean, so you think that little girl was running up thinking, oh, I'm running up there because of centuries of racism directed toward Native American ceremonies. And that's not to say the racism isn't real, but she was running up because we were telling a story together. And I'm talking to you brown people too. Don't think I'm not talking directly toward you. Because yes, white people are assholes. But not all the time. And trust me, the beautiful thing and the horrible thing about our country now is we brown people are catching up in the asshole department. And there's going to be a beautiful, glorious day. This multicultural asshole Eden. Where you can look around at all the colors of the world in every room and think, everybody here is equally assholery.
It's a potpourri
of assholery.
Well, it's time to turn it over to the potpourri in the audience. It's the central casting gentleman who brought us water and another very noble volunteer.
How many dead shows have you been to?
0.
Oh. Check your assumptions, Sherman, Alexie. Open your minds.
I just performed a macro aggression on you. So who is your favorite musician?
Vienna Time.
Now I feel really bad.
The idea was actually that the volunteers from the festival will be giving the microphone to people who want to ask questions. Not that it was time for you to interrogate. This isn't Brooklyn. Right. So if you have a question, there we go. There's someone. Oh, they should go to the microphone. Sorry, yeah. Right, the volunteers have worked hard enough, they're not going to run to you. Go to them. They've been fetching water.
That guy's not going to do anything for me.
Yeah.
I'm still going to hug him.
I wouldn't drink anything he
I'm
brings
still
you.
going to hug him.
Apparently I can't hold the microphone. So, coming from a background more of children's literature, going to what you were saying about people who write adult books and kind of looking down on people who write for children. And I haven't read your book, so I'm certainly not saying this is you, but sometimes it seems like every Tom, Dick, and Harry who has written a book or has some other kind of claim to fame thinks that they can write a children's book, and does. So I'm just wondering if you guys have anything to say about that.
Well, this book's really good, so it's not an example of somebody writing a bad book.
I'm sure it is.
No. But there are certainly, yeah, I do actually think there's tons of bad children's books written by people who got famous for something else, but there's actually as many bad children's books written by people who only write bad children's books, so. Yeah.
The percentage of bad books is probably higher in the kids' book world because there are so fewer words that each word matters more. So, like, bad poetry is the worst thing in the world.
Bad theater source. Because bad poetry, you
The
can
second worst thing in the world. And so, where there's more hanging on every, well, I mean, I'm a parent. I've read, I mean, and there's no better critic of kids' books than your kids. And watching my kids throw books across the room when they were 2, like, or even when they're littler, when you're trying to read a plastic-covered thing or something. Even when you think a book with 12 pages that you can vomit and wipe off, even there are bad versions of that.
Oh yeah.
Like, and they know in a way that you can't even as an adult know. Like when you're saying cat, and they look at it and and then you bring up another one that's slightly different, and you go cat, and they're like, and you don't know what it is. And those are the fewer and fewer words you get with a book. Those are the kids' book writers I'm trying to understand. The one, the crayon dude. His earlier, I know why the crayon books are huge, they're amazing. But his earlier works, some of them have like 2 words on a page. And you look at those 2 words and the image and you're like, oh. And I can't figure out how he's doing it. I can't reach across that artistic barrier to get to what he's doing. And a lot of it, I think, is because he illustrates and does the words, so there's a relationship there that I can't have. But I'm so jealous of what he's doing. And there's other people. I mean, people who have insane brains. So I'm gonna write picture books forever because 3-year-olds run out of the audience. I'm going to write teen books forever because I get to hear brown kids from across the world in danger and at risk say, this is the first book I ever loved and finished. And they say that, and I think, you have a chance. This is just the gateway. There's 100 other books waiting for you. 1,000 other books waiting for you. And I didn't answer that question at all because I didn't understand it.
Oh man. So I'm an MC. Works that way. Taking good American jobs, I'm sorry. First off, I wanted to say I've been waiting for many, many years to meet you in person, and this is as close as we're going to get. Don't worry, I'm not your son. It's not one of those things. Trust me, as a Native American, it can happen. You'll just roll up. It's cool. Don't worry. I do go as you every year for Halloween. Because there's no other way. Yeah.
You go as me?
Yeah. So when you talk about the Sherman Alexie vibe, I was like, I know that shit.
I mean, you get the haircut, oh my, you put a tie on and all that stuff? Oh my God!
I wanted to say that, I'm a filmmaker, and Smoke Signals was actually one of the films that propelled me to do it. All made, really inspired me that I could do it without waiting for the grand Hollywood guy to come down and give me a gang of money. I don't know how it went, because the people are cutty. But I did want to say, a lot of your books also have had that theme of names, reading Smoke Signals, and what inspired them. And I wanted to ask you, because you've been something, if you could change your name, what would you want it to be?
Damn. Having a good time. Then the brown dude comes in and
I got the phone ready and see it all.
entertaining all the white liberals, and then the brown guy comes in with a real question. I will say that I'm really happy now in my adult life to be Sherman Alexie because it's so distinctive. And strangers who don't know who I am, like I'm checking into a hotel, they love my name. You know, Sherman Alexie, that's a cool name. And the kid in me goes, ugh. But now I go, yeah, I like that name. Nobody has it except my father. I mean, because the thing is, I'm going to go on, I'm going to, don't name your kid after you. And I'm talking to you young men, because the young women aren't going to, they might name their daughter after like a great aunt or a 7 generation ago grandmother. I'm sure you're out there in the world, but I've never met a mother who named their daughter directly after themselves. I mean, it's a total dick move. Literally, figuratively, metaphorically. And if you've done it, apologize. And if you're gonna do it, stop. Number one, the whole name possessive of that is what you're saying is, this is mine. First of all, it's 50% you, the kid, and you didn't give birth. So it's more like 42%. You know, probably more like 28%.
I think it's more like 6%.
6%. I mean, I was in the birthing room. I'm sure you...
You were in the birthing room.
Oh, yeah. I say it
I
like
saw that DJ movie.
Yeah, I mean, no, really. I mean, it was like an episode, it was like a Saw movie. I mean, it was The Beauty of Childbirth, my ass. I mean, we only propagate that myth so we keep doing it. I mean, you know, pretty quickly it's awesome afterward, but not during. But the thing is, my father died in 2003, and I happened to be standing at the foot of his coffin. Not for any specific reason. There was no ceremonial thing going on. Don't get excited. We bury our people as casually as you do.
There's a coyote on one side of you.
Well, we were formal. Every Indian there was wearing their best jean shorts. And other stuff happened. But I wouldn't tell you because I'm not going to tell you. But there was no reason for me to be there at the foot of the grave specifically. As the coffin lowered, it revealed the tombstone. And the tombstone said, Sherman Alexie. Did any of you who named your son after yourself, if you're in the room, even consider that moment in your son's life? There is a tombstone a half mile from my childhood home on my reservation with my name on it. And also, God forbid your son becomes famous, because then weird literary tourists show up on your reservation and take selfies with a tombstone. Like I'm somehow Jim Morrison all of a sudden. That's a long way of saying, I'm pretty cool with Sherman now. But, the complications are beautiful, but if I could change my name to anything, I mean, the greatest name in the native world, there's 2 of them, and they're probably the 2 greatest native basketball players of all time. And I'm friends with one of them. I only played against the other one. I've played against both, but I've become friendly with one of them. The first one, his name is Jonathan Takes Enemy. Sherman Takes Enemy would be awesome. And then the other name, it's a debate who was the greatest player, but his name is even better. His name was Elvis Old Bull. So those names are so amazing. I don't know how to say them in their tribal languages, but in English they're amazing, and in the tribal languages I'm sure they're even more beautiful. I would rather have a name like that, a name from my tribe's past, my family's past, that had somehow survived, damaged in a sense by being translated into English, but I really wish I still had a tribal name like that. Although I do use one of them in my fiction, Builds the Fire. So it would be awesome if I was born with the name Sherman Builds the Fire. I would have sold at least 8 more books. And do you really go as me at Halloween? Sometimes.
You were just on a game.
I want to hug you later too. We need to have a group hug.
Yeah. You have a busy afternoon now.
I like hugging. Don't take that. No, I shouldn't have said that. Actually, I don't. He knows I do. I hugged him when I saw him one time, squeezed him really hard, called him sweetheart. Because he's really kind and funny, Daniel. He's a sweetheart.
We have time for one more question.
So Sherman, you said that you don't write about ceremonies because you don't follow them. Would you say that writing a poem is a ceremony? That's my first question. I have a very quick second question.
What's the second question? I can meld them.
Who's your favorite musician and/or who's your favorite basketball player?
We don't have enough time for me to do this, but one time before a talk for librarians, my editor was there with me, and she said, "What are you going to talk about?" I don't always even know. And I said, "Well, I have some ideas," but I said, "I'm old Indian dude, man. I just get up and go." Highly sacred tradition of tangents. And she challenged. She goes, I said, "You could say 3 things to me right now, and I could give a 45-minute talk on them. And give me 3 things," I said, "and end with the word, and I'll do that today. I'll improv a talk with those 3 things and end with that word." And the 3 things were chicken with its head cut off, still alive, pomegranates, and House and Architecture magazine. And the last word was light. So I did it. I have no memory of the talk, but I did it, and it worked. And when I said light, and this was in Anaheim, at a librarian thing, when I said light, the convention center electricity went out.
That sounds pretty ceremonial.
And plenty of other natives, if that would have happened, they would have started thinking, maybe I do have power. Plenty of other, anybody of anything would have thought, maybe I do have powers. But I thought, what an amazing coincidence. But I believe in interpreting coincidence exactly the way you want to. I'm Catholic. But, hence the Eucharist, the greatest coincidence of all time. This cracker tastes like Jesus. That's funny in such a profound way. And I just made that up. But I'm going to develop that. I'm going to have a 15-minute bit on that later. But and it's going to end up being really positive. I've been trying to think of an answer to your question about the ceremony thing. Let me answer the second part first. My favorite musician, I had this talk in the green room with 2 white guy writers who were cool, and well, not him. I mean, he's cool, but he wasn't in there. And we're talking about this phenomenon. I've seen a couple essays about it, where the internet and with music, how the way it has made us more provincial. And especially, I think, us middle-aged, nostalgic, sad-ass farts. So all we do is listen to the same, we're like, our brains have become a continual Jack FM. And that we don't listen to anything new. We go back to the same thing, the same thing, the same thing, because it's so readily available, and it's actually, you have to work harder now. It's harder to go into iTunes or whatever you shop and shuffle through. Where when you went into a record store or something, you could, or a CD store, which were, records were the big round ones, CDs were the smaller round ones. I mean, I don't know, you're the same age, right? I mean, I had 8 tracks.
I'm 46.
Yeah, you had 8 tracks. Did you have Freddie Fender?
No.
Okay. And we're talking about there, and my friends and I are talking about the fact that we don't experiment with music the way we used to where you buy something because the cover is cool. And in fact, because of the way it works, you're only buying what some algorithm told you to buy, even when you think you're being experimental. It's like you're on the iTunes cover page, and down there it says, you know, new artists, or breaking, or whatever algorithm, verb, adjective, adverb shit is down there. And then you buy it and you listen, and then you never listen to it again. You don't live with it. So I'm wary of answering the question because I'm in a change. I'm in a music caterpillar, moth, butterfly sort of thing right now, where I'm trying to break out of my 50-year-old nostalgia and finally admit that, okay, I don't have to listen to Stevie Nicks every day. But that said, PJ Harvey. Favorite basketball player, LeBron James. By the way, shut up. 90% of you didn't even know the Warriors played basketball until Steph Curry showed up. Were you there when Antoine Jameson was your best player? No, you weren't, so be quiet.
We have run out of time, so.
We